All right, welcome to this Kartra training. We're going to be taking a fresh new Kartra account from scratch and pretty much setting it up in a money-making business. So we have Money Coach Chris here, and I'm going to be setting up his account. Now, he has already done a couple of things in here. He went into integrations, and you'll all need to do this. You'll need to go in if you're going to use the Google Calendar and you want to connect it. All you have to do is go in here in integrations and connect the Google Calendar. You have to set up your email in Kartra. This is how you communicate with your customers. And really all you do, you just go in here to edit. You put in the from email address. Now you need to use your own domain. You cannot use a Gmail account in here. They do not allow that. So you put your from email, your reply to email, and your sender name. This is how all the emails will go out from Kartra to all of your prospects and customers. So that's all you need to do there. Then your email's set up, all taken care of. And then you want to set up a payment gateway. So I see Chris has set up PayPal here and Stripe. So those are all done. So that stuff's all ready to plug in. And he also set up Zoom because we're going to be setting up a calendar for him. So that way the Zoom link will be integrated right into the calendar. So integrations is one of those things that you only have to do this once. So don't complain about it. Just go in, do what you got to do. It's like setting up your profile in a social media account. You do it once and then you have a happy life afterwards. So this is stuff that you need to set up. The other thing I'm going to show you guys how to do is set up a custom domain. This is where you can have all of your Kartra pages hosted on your own domain, which is really cool. It's a lot better than having it on a Kartra page, on a Kartra domain. So that way, when your customers are going, it's whatever.kartra.com. You don't want that. You want them on your site. So let's do that first. That's another integration part. Again, you only have to do this once. If you don't know how to set up DNS records, because we're going to have to actually set up a DNS record here, it's pretty simple, but if you don't have access and this is not something you're comfortable with, all you have to do is just contact your hosting provider and just tell them to do it for you. Pretty simple stuff. So let's go over here and we're going to go under custom domains. This is under the profile link here. And we're going to click on that. And we're going to go in here. You have a choice of setting up a subdomain or a regular domain. Like the difference would be something.yoursite.com or just yoursite.com. In this case, it says yourdomain.com. What we're going to do is we're going to click plus. This is how you set up a new one. This is just your examples here. So let's set up a new one. Here's where we have to choose if we're going to be a subdomain or a regular domain. I'm going to select subdomain here, and we're going to put this on Chris's regular domain so as a subdomain. So if you have any questions about that, we can address that later. But the subdomain is prior to, it's like www.yourdomain.com. So what I'm going to use as a subdomain here is get. And then we're going to put his domain in here, which is moneycoachchris.com. So this site is now going to be get.moneycoachchris.com. And here is a place to put a favicon. That's something you'll probably want to do. You want to create a little logo. So we're going to select a new image and I'm going to go to the desktop here. We have a folder with all of his stuff in it. So let's go to logo files and let's use this little guy right here. Let's see. Yeah, let's use that one. We'll upload that and we will select it. And the reason we want this one is it's going to be a little round image versus a real wide one like that. So we'll confirm. There we go. Now we can also shrink this down to kind of match and meet that image. So that's a little more like it. We'll confirm. And see, now we've got that cool little icon, and that's going to show up here in the top tab. When you go to a website, you see the little icon image. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hit next now. And this is where you're going to see a setting here. We have to set up a CNAME record in our DNS. Now, don't worry if your eyes are glassing over here and you don't have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you. But we want to copy this address out. That's chrismclean.kartra.com. This is where the pages actually live in the Kartra server. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like a redirect called a CNAME in your DNS records. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, we've completed this. And I'm going to go over there and do that right now. And then we just say next. And then it's going to ask what your index page is for get.chris or get.moneycoachchris.com. So right now I'm going to cheat because we really don't have a home page for that. I'm just going to put moneycoachchris.com. If you want to change this at any time, you're free to do that. So no big deal. You can also make it a Kartra page if you want to have a Kartra page, and you can, I'll show you how to build pages in here, but we're just going to cheat for now. We're going to put moneycoachchris.com, and we're going to do the same thing down here. And what this is the error. This is like the default error page. If they go to a link that doesn't exist anymore, it would pop up an error page. And again, you can come back and create this later. I'm just going to put this in as a placeholder. So we say next. Now it's going to go and it's going to start that process. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to log in to his domain registry. Okay, and I'm going to go down here. This is where he's registered all his domain names. So I'm looking for Money Coach Chris. I'm going to go edit that. And what I'm looking for is the DNS. I want to manage the DNS. DNS stands for Domain Name Servers. So I'm going to click on that. Now we've got DNS records, and you notice you got a bunch of records here. We're going to add a CNAME record, just like what Kartra asked us to do. So we're going to add a new record. And we're going to choose the type, which is a CNAME. Now we're going to put the name in here. This is what it's asking for here is what do you want to put in here? We're going to put get.moneycoachchris.com. So let me check that, make sure I'm right. Get.moneycoachchris.com. And then the value is where we're going to send it, which is what we copied out of Kartra. So it's going to basically make anything that goes to this actually point over there, but show this. So it's kind of a cool little thing. You know, TTL, this means time to live. That means how often will this be refreshed? And I'm just going to put every half hour. So I'm going to save that, and that is it. That's all you have to do to set up your DNS record. And now you should be able to get those pages hosted instead of on Kartra on here. Now it says, do you want to resolve on, you want this to resolve on? Yes, this record should be on get.moneycoachchris.com. That is correct. So we're going to save that. Updating DNS records, and that's it. We're all set. So now it's in here. Get goes to chrismclean.kartra.com. Every half hour that's going to update. That's all we need to do. So we can go back to Kartra. This little guy is going to spin here for maybe up to a couple of hours. This could take a couple of hours to actually take place, because those records have to update. I put in there every 30 minutes. That's at the registrar. There's a lot of servers around the world that might take longer than that. They might have different settings as how when they check those records. So It could take several hours for that to update depending on who you're hosted with. All right, so we're going to click that and it says processing here. We'll come back to this in a little while and you'll see that it's all updated, but it's all set, ready to go. And that is really between setting your custom domain and setting your initial integrations, that's your one-time stuff. Now there's a couple other things that we're going to do here that's one-time stuff too, like we're going to set up a help desk and we're going to set up calendars. So we'll do those next. And again, this is the stuff where you just got to get down, put the rubber to the road and get this stuff done. You only have to do it once and then you can build your business. And this is going to be really cool because we're going to completely automate your business with this one product. Kartra is going to do it all. We're going to do everything you need to run an automated online business. So let's get started. Let's start off with, I'm going to go up here before we do that. This is another one-time thing. If we go under communications, one of the big things in here is you're going to build lists. Lists is considered like an email list, a customer list, prospect list, all that kind of stuff. So like here, they recommend you make a customer. You can make paid subscribers. You can make free subscribers. Now, for me, I've done a lot of these. I've set up a lot of businesses with Kartra. And what I recommend is I recommend 3 lists. I recommend a prospect list. So we're going to set the prospect list up first. We're just going to call it prospect. Now, if you've got multiple businesses you're running or multiple products, multiple customer lists and stuff, you can set up more than one. You can have as many lists as you want. But in my opinion, you should have less lists and then you can make tags and have all the tags you want. So I'm going to set up the prospect list and that's pretty much it. It's set up now. You can import leads, you can create an opt-in, or you can go back to lists. We're just going to go back to lists. We're going to set up our second one. So we're going to click here to add another list and we're going to put customers. To me, when you're communicating with your list, it's important to me to understand if we're communicating with prospects or we're communicating with customers. So I'm going to put a customers list in here. And again, we're going to go back to our lists. We're going to add one more. This one is for affiliates. And if you don't know what that is, this is going to be an important part of your life. Affiliates. Affiliates are people that will sell your stuff for you if you pay them. You incentivize them. You give them like a commission, and then you can create an army of salespeople that you only pay if they give you sales. It's one of the coolest things you're ever going to experience. It's like mailbox money. They literally pour money into your account. You give them a little bit back on the back end. So we have prospects, customers, and affiliates. Now, notice I said prospects and I have prospect there. If you want to edit it, you just click edit, change it, update. So now we have prospects, customers, and affiliates. That's our lists. You can have as many lists as you want. If you've got different product lines, you might want to make these unique, but we're going to keep this simple for today. Notice over here, you have tags. You can create, again, as many tags as you want. And a tag will be specific about what this person has done inside your marketing funnel. Like you can keep track of what they opted in for, what videos they watched, what pages they went to. You can literally track all of their actions, and then you can communicate with them based on their interaction with your funnel, which is super powerful. So this is something that you definitely want to take advantage of. I'll give you an example. If somebody goes on to look at your product and they don't purchase it, they start the shopping process, but then they fall out, we would create a cart abandonment tag. So we know that person was really super interested. They just didn't finish the purchase process. That's an important thing to know so we can follow up with them properly and convert them to a customer. So there's a ton of tags that you can make. You can even categorize your tags. You can create categories of tags. And again, if you've got multiple divisions in your business, you've got multiple products, you can categorize the tags for them just to keep the whole back end nice and tidy. So we got the lists done. Now what we're going to do, we want to go over here. Let's set up a help desk.